The 2008 LEGO Indiana Jones release was my favourite LEGO release of all time. Their advertisements were just iconic, they had two of the greatest LEGO video games of all time, and the sets were just indescribable. Absolutely amazing and worthy of 5 big booms. Boom, 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 boom. Now, even though the sets are that amazing, they do have one big downside. Since 2008, they have now become worth $1 gazillion.
Small loan of $1 million.
So it is a hard sell to buy a LEGO set for that much money. And admittedly, I do stay up every night and cry about how many Hawk Tour coins I could have in place of some of these LEGO Indiana Jones sets, but that just shows truly how much I value these sets. Now, as I recently did a review on the Temple of the Golden Idol Indiana Jones set 77015, I thought it would be fitting the first 2008 legendary LEGO Indiana Jones set I'd do a review on is set 7623, the original Temple of the Golden Idol set released in 2008, and I think it would just be interesting to compare the two sets, see where they differ, and see which one I think is better. So here's the LEGO Indiana Jones Temple Escape. I bought it off Marketplace a year or two ago. It's used, unfortunately. When I bought it, it'd be ideal if I had new, but I'm not trying to be homeless because they're like 350 sealed on Bricklinks, so pretty brutal. So I'm hoping all the pieces are here from last time I used it. I'm pretty sure, fingers crossed, it should all be good. Just a quick look at the instructions here. I thought it was interesting that I don't know, they just have a bunch of like details. LEGO Indiana Jones sets never usually have this much space on the bottom of them. It's just all art of the set, but they chose to do that on this set. So we'll look into the instructions. They're 2 booklets, but the details are the exact same. So I got some other sets from around that time. Some of the greatest sets ever built, I say. Now let's check out the other one. Oh yeah, the classic back of the book sets. We got some Bionicle Police, you know, the greatest sets of all time. Oh, we got that guy. So gonna advertise other sets. Got the LEGO Indiana Jones video game, phenomenal. And here's an overview of what it should look like. Okay, now it's time to release the bricks. Let's see it. Beautiful. Oh, and there's that big old boulder. The good old-fashioned circular boulder, none of that brick trash. Now on to the building section. I found this set pretty easy to build compared to the last one. It was a lot better, I found, in the way that there was a lot less pieces. So I think all new sets now have a lot more pieces, which is a lot better because they're a lot more detailed. But also when they have a lot less pieces, I actually kind of like it because I'm a bit mentally slow at times. So it helped a person like me who struggles with that sort of stuff. Now, as I mentioned at the start of the video, it's amazing how much the price has changed on these sets. Looking at Brick Set, the retail price for this set was $60. It's now going for close to $600. The Stolen Treasures set is pretty well in the same situation. Went for about $30, now it's over $300. And this trend is common from all Indiana Jones sets from this era, so it's quite amazing. Quick aside, if you're interested in buying LEGO right now, check out my eBay account, Snail Collectibles. I'll link it in the description. I sell a variety of new sealed retired sets, so there's always quite a lot to look through, and I sell domestically and internationally, so long as you don't live in like North Korea, you should be able to order from me. If this interests you, I'll put a coupon up on screen. It should give you 10% off your first purchase. Other than that, cheers for that. Back to the video. So here's the set complete. It pretty much has a lot of the similar play features as the newest version of the set. However, I find the sections of the set are a lot less distinct as the newer version, with the newer one having 3 sections. This one feels a lot more merged together, with there being a lot less contrast between each of the sections. So this just shows the unique approaches both designers of each of these sets took in creating them. Now on to the first play feature, the rolling boulder. As I mentioned in the last video, it's a bit flimsy, as you'll notice. It took a few tries to take down Indiana Jones. He's a real strong man, strong as an ox, but we took him down eventually. Now this section is iconic, but from the 2 sets, the newer set, the remake of this and this one, which one do I prefer? Now on the one hand, this one has a circular boulder. You can do lots of things outside of the set with the circular boulder. You can roll it down a hallway, you can throw it. You can't do that with the newer one. but the newer one, the mechanism is just so smooth, it's like butter. So I'd have to say the newer one takes the cake, but this one is still bloody good. Now on to the next play feature, these little spiky things. I was trying to take down Satipo with them, but they're just bloody useless. Like, look at him. I try to like attack him, make him fall over, but the spikes just fall off. Like, this is possibly one of the worst features I've ever seen. Maybe it's because the designers just love Satipo, and if so, I don't blame them. He's just a saint, everyone loves him. I heard actually after the first movie he adopted 100 orphans and then saved a woman from a burning building. So I don't blame the designers if that was the reason for their choice. Now onto the section where Indiana Jones is swinging between the opening in the floor. I think it's okay. It's not as good as the newer version. The newer version you can swing him more violently, so it could be better, but he does swing, so that's a good upside. Now onto the checkered floor just before Indiana Jones gets to the idol. They have the little spears coming out there trying to attack him. The issue I found with the spears though is you can't really just like throw them out there like you're throwing the spear at Indiana Jones. You sort of have to get him near to the spear, and then you just have to hold onto it and just spike it into him. You can't let go of that spear or it's gone, it's on the floor, and you can't get that again. So it's okay, but you just need to know how to use this play feature. Now onto the final part where Indiana Jones is picking up the idol, and I was quite amazed, it even knocked him over. Nothing in this set could knock over this man. Indiana Jones is just built like a tank, but this took him out. So I was quite impressed. Everything was falling apart as it should, so overall I quite liked this feature. Now one other thing to mention before we move on to the minifigures, the jock plane. I quite like the jock plane. There was no jock plane in the new set, and if we can get a jock plane anytime, I'm taking that. Now you can see in the plane with jock, there's a snake, just like the movie, so I like that touch. And yeah, overall it's just a cool extra thing to add into the set on top of just the Temple of the Golden Idol. Now on to reviewing the minifigures. First up we have the man himself, Indiana Jones. Front side of him looks pretty good, he has a nice beard, it's okay for the time, but obviously this is like 17 years old. Pretty basic compared to today's standards, but classic figure, gets a bit of nostalgia, so I don't mind it. Now here's Satipo with his club, he's looking quite content. As you can see, it's a pretty terrible figure, like it only has printing on the front side of his torso. Other than that, there's nothing much really happening. A weird thing to note, he has a little bit of like, I don't know what to call it on his eye, but it's like he's been wearing a little bit of eyeshadow or something. So maybe he was in a bit of an emo phase or something during this time. But overall, it's not really the greatest Satipo figure. Thank God we got a new one, but it is what it is. Now on to Balok. He has a little bit of a cheeky grin here, as you can see. He's only got the front side printing on his torso. Other than that, there's no printing. But really, when you compare it to the new one, this one's pretty well the same, so it's actually not bad for the time, I'd say. Overall, I quite like this Balok figure. Now, onto the man himself, Jock. The Jock figure is my favorite figure in this set, for multiple reasons. Firstly, it has double-sided torso printing. A lot of these minifigures didn't have anything like that. And also, something amazing from back in the day, I was just amazed there were people out there called Jock. Like, you don't hear Jock very often. It's an interesting name. It's got it on his torso, as you can see. And if there is any Jocks in the comments, please let me know. Or if you know any Jocks, please let me know. Great figure. Comes with a fishing rod and a little hat as well. Just phenomenal. 10 out of 10. They need to get a new updated Jock, I say. So that concludes the main features of this set. I really like it. I think mostly because of nostalgia though. So there was definitely some weak points in the set. The minifigures weren't the greatest. However, I got to give them a bit of leeway for that because it's an older set. But also, the play features were just shocking. They were just garbage. So on the snail score, given the nostalgia and it's kind of just a cool set from back in the day, I'll give it a 7 out of 10, a solid 7 out of 10. I think that's a fair rating. So that's the official snail score. Other than that, if you haven't checked out my most recent video of the newer remake of this set, go check that out. Other than that, guys, cheers. See you in the next one.